Guys, what's poppin'? It's your man AB tapping in. I gotta tell you about today's sponsor, Beard Organics. Look, it took Lou 49 years, but he finally was able to grow a beard, but he's doing the smart thing and he's taking care of it, all right? When he goes to the barbershop, he brings his kit from Beard Organics with him. First things first, you gotta use the beard wash. It is no point in doing all this extra work if your beard ain't clean. The foundation gotta be right. Next thing, you gotta hit it with the conditioner. That's gonna make it soft, and trust me, your lady friend will thank you. This is all natural and organic ingredients, so you ain't gotta worry about your face breaking out or no other weird stuff happening. Lastly, you gotta hit it with the beard oil. A couple of drip drips here, drip drip there, and when that light hits your beard, it twinkle and glisten. When you step out, people gonna ask you, yo, where did you get your beard products from? You can point them straight to beardorganics.com. Don't forget, let them know if you buy 3 items or more, you get an extra 20% off. So I don't know what you waiting on, but go to beardorganics.com. They got products and accessories. Go and get yourself right and let them know on deck sent you. Hey, what it do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on socials.
Absolutely, and I am Spike Lou on those same social sites. Holla at your boy AB. Last episode of the year.
Hey, this year been flying by. I feel like this always happens toward the close, though. Thanksgiving and Christmas, they might as well be the next day apart from each other.
2 weeks apart, bro. Like this shit right there on top of each other. Pause. But yeah, that if you haven't been paying attention, man, you'll look up and it's gonna be New Year's.
Yep.
Really quickly. Really quickly. And it happened like it's too when you get older, like in your older year. I remember waiting all year for Christmas, bro.
Facts.
Like,
And it used to
wait all year, and it took forever. That the same Thanksgiving span to Christmas, like you said, it just felt like it took 6 weeks to a year. You're like, damn, bro.
Not no more, though.
Now, man. We here. Nah, not at all, man. Happy holidays to the On Deckers out there. We appreciate y'all rocking with us year after year. What we got this week, AB?
Absolutely, man. Let's leave with something good, man. First of all, we talked about that Grammy 50th hip hop celebration. There was one OG name that was missing, KRS-One. He explained why. We'll go into his reasoning. Elliott criticized Nicki for doing the Kai Cenat show as opposed to doing traditional media. Another media member complaining about where people are going. We get to talk more about that. And Fat Joe says he don't want his son to be a rapper, dog. Just take the money, I'll leave you. We're going to talk about what does that say about establishing a rap career to everybody else. But first and foremost, your man, Lil Baby, is back with not one, but 2 brand new singles fresh off the press called Crazy and 350. My question, he's cooking up an album coming soon, allegedly. How do these 2 songs make you feel about his upcoming project?
I'm concerned. I had to use one word, is concern. And I've been waving the Lil Baby flag since we both seen him at the Breakfast Club with his first interview with Pete. Big fan of the kid. But just like with these 2 songs, and as you've been mentioning beforehand, I've been more hesitant to get to that place. It just seems like the sound and quite frankly, the game has passed him by. And that's not to say that what he did wasn't impactful, like he didn't have a solid run, probably one of the best in history. But this goes to show when people who, like he's always said, I'm not really a rapper, it's starting to show. Like it ain't a lot of different stuff talked about. It ain't a lot of creativity. You can tell he's not doing the normal rap stuff, even if that's, I'm going to bring somebody in to help me write the songs. I'm going to go find such and such and get a hook that can't miss because I know I got the flow and I know what I do on it. But it doesn't seem like the Lil Baby's applying himself like that. It just seemed like, oh, I'm Lil Baby. I done made it to this place. I can put out shit and it's going to do what it do. That's how the music is coming off to me. A nigga hit me up and he was like, hey, man, what's going on with Lil Baby? I thought something had happened to the nigga. I went straight to Twitter. I was like, damn, I hope ain't nothing happened to Lil Baby, man. What's going on? So I had to respond. I was like, what do you mean? Did something happen to him? You talking about his music? And he was like, no, he dropped 2 singles. I had no clue that he had dropped 2 singles, and that's unacceptable for an artist at the status of Lil Baby at this stage in his career. And quite frankly, I think a lot of it has to do with him. I don't think that he's interested in this shit, and it shows.
So I've been saying this for a while now, for at least since the last album dropped that was, I'm talking about the epitome of mid. That came out late fourth quarter 2022, and he has gone 0 for 11 on singles this year, or just Lucy's this year. Now, we'll say these two joints that he put out Friday, in the words of the great Jada Kiss, they're good, but they're not enough. It's nothing wrong with the songs. They're not terrible. I'll say that. But bro, and he even addressed or what people are thinking he's addressing Gunna on the second joint 350. Well, he talks about the snitching and he talks about holding his man down that's facing a long time or whatnot. And people are thinking he's talking about Jeffrey.
Dude.
So that got a couple of people talking, okay, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, man, don't nobody really care about that shit. They want to know if this music is slapping. Can you do what you were doing before? And for the last year and a half or a year and some change, bro, he's been striking out. And is it a coincidence that this all has happened where his partner in rhyme, Lil Baby, that's how I got introduced to both of these dudes. I thought they were a group technically at first when they first came out because they were introduced to us that way, with the Drip Too Hard. Is it a coincidence that since he hasn't been rocking with him that his music has fallen off a cliff? I don't know. Like, people need to be talking about that because Gunna's music has remained consistent and some could say improved, while Lil Baby's has taken a nosedive because the songs are cool, but he could show use a couple of extra hands in the studio, dude, just like you said, bro, because it's a little stale.
There needs to be some help, and help need to come from somewhere, and it's concerning as a fan of his that it don't even look like he looking for it. Like he looking for, like what you said, well, let me throw this out here with Gunna, and maybe people will respond to that. Nigga, if you don't go get Sexyy Red or you don't go get like some like Hit Boy, like do something to show us that you are like putting forth a valiant effort to continue to be Lil Baby. Even if it means like, oh, I'm gonna get a Kanye beat, whatever it means, bro. It just doesn't, it's not showing I give a fuck at all. It's not showing that, bro. It's giving like, I already made mine, man. Everything else is extra. I already won. And that's how the bars sound, that's how the music sounds. And you're right. Gunna may be that missing ingredient, bro. I haven't listened to Gunna's album in full thoroughly still, because I really just don't rock with him. It ain't got nothing to do with the snitching, and I'm just not the biggest fan of that. So I'm hearing, as you said, and everybody else has said, somebody was just telling me at the barbershop this weekend, Gunna got album of the year. I said, have you not heard Killer Mike's album? But
there's two different types people of joints, out there. Though.
It is. And that's what that person was trying to explain to me, in a sense. He was adding everything that Gunna had gone through as far as adversity to making the album of the year. So yeah, you're right. He does have a case. But I say that to say Gunna is still performing at a high level, and it shows, and it's sounding like he's interested in this. He done had shit to catch on since. Like, Lil Baby can't even get nothing to catch.
No, he can't. And it's killing him. And album of the year is a stretch for Gunna, but I understand when you put everything in totality, like the shit surrounding it back against the wall. This was a make or break project. Say that. Right. Say it was a make or break project and he delivered. But you ain't got to go as far as saying album of the year. That's a stretch, but it is banging though. His shit banging, Baby shit quiet, Dirk shit quiet. Everybody that's against them shit is quiet. So, bro, I don't know, but I will say. I feel like I listened to that first, especially the first song. I think it was called Crazy. It immediately sounded like 4 other songs. But I'm talking about immediately. And 20 seconds in, I was like, man, bro, I didn't even want to give it a chance.
I made it 30 seconds.
Bro, so I didn't even want to give it a chance.
I've heard this before. I've heard this 10 times.
I've heard this before. This is the same shit y'all try to give my boy the Baby. Y'all try to run him through the ground saying he sounded the same. No, nigga, you had the wrong Baby.
Well, that's a good example, though. No, it's a good example because that's happened to him.
That's not true. He had a hit this year.
He had the controversy.
He had a hit this year.
Well, who was on there?
It was him.
Who was on the song?
Now, he had Sexyy Red on the remix.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's why you had a hit. Like, Lil Baby need to try some shit like that. Like, at least use the people that's hot out here.
Like, he had on the remix for sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Person of the Year, by the way. We're going to this next topic. Facts. She shook it. Before we get there, though, really, really quickly, since it's not on the rundown I want to hit on, man, I just, before we started recording, hit play on that Scarface Tiny Desk. That shit was amazing. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet. That shit was amazing. Like, he getting to show he in his real music bag. And he's got to put some more respect on Scarface's name.
Scarface is your favorite rapper. and
Facts.
it was dope. It was definitely good. I watched about half of it. I didn't get to finish it yet, but because I'm not that big of a Tiny Desk fan, it don't do nothing for me
Live
like
music, yeah.
that. However, it was cool hearing his because he got a unique voice, and his voice is like an instrument, and so his style and voice, you can't help but feel what he's saying. Like that's what makes Scarface dope, and some would argue that's what makes the music from the '90s a little bit different from now. Is a little bit more feelings and more soul to it. Some would argue, but he's a perfect example of that. So it sounded real good, man. Shout out Mike Dean on the keys over there, Houston legend. But so that was cool. That
I'll
shit was dope as fuck.
confess. I'll confess, even though we talked about the Juvie, I still didn't watch that one, but I made it a point to watch this one based off of everything that you said. Scarface is like a storyteller, bro. It's like an author
Yo,
sitting there reading a book. Like that's
yo,
how that shit was fire to me. And shout out my man's right there playing the bass. Looked like Beard Organics definitely helped him out. Beard
facts.
was glowing there in the front. So shout out to him and shout out Beard Organics. But moving on.
Hold on,
Just
real quick though,
recently, your
real quick.
girl.
This was posed in the group chat. Does Hove need a tiny desk? Is he too big for a tiny desk? That's the well, yeah. Hold on, two
Mhm.
questions. Is he too big for a tiny desk?
Okay.
Pause. And who needs one that hasn't done one?
Yes, J Hove needs to do one. I would love that. And
No,
I
is he
think
too? Is he too
it
big?
would
Is he too major for it? Let's
is
be
he too
honest.
big for it?
He got to be.
Nah, I mean some
Stop.
concessions would need to be made to have him up in there. It can't be that many people, but you can't tell me that wouldn't be fire though. Like, and that's part of what I was talking about last week when I said I didn't have the answer to. It's only us in hip hop that feel like, I can't do that. Nigga, this is NPR. It's the
What does that
biggest
mean?
news source in the world, bro.
JD don't give a
Oh, come
fuck
on,
about
stop.
NPR.
But it's a good look, and that's what. And we'll talk about this later. That's what Nori and that's what Elliott and those niggas be meaning. Yeah, of course you may be bigger than that platform, bro, but you keep this shit going by going back and showing love to these platforms and doing these types of things. I'm not sure the rock people that have been on there, but I'm sure there's
Yeah,
probably some big names in country and rock who you could also say, I can't believe, like, nigga way bigger than NPR, but it's just us in hip hop, but we'll totally excluded because we feel like we've made it to a certain level. I don't like that. So in that sense, yes, I do think that Hove should do one, but is he too big? Probably pause.
yeah. He's no, he
What I
is.
want to see, man, what this made me think of, bro, and this is less likely than the Hove one. Just and it maybe because it was fresh on my mind from last week. I want to hear that Love Below. Like if they do that Love Below,
Mm.
you talking about like if
The
Andre
Andre
wants to get that,
Tiny
bro,
Desk
if
would
he
be
want to get that
crazy.
feeling, he want to get that feeling back about rapping and feeling good about it. Like nigga, go up there and do that Love Below. I bet you
That's
break the
crazy.
internet and you want to put out an album. That'll be fire.
Yeah, no, that's
What
crazy.
say you?
Now, you took my. It's the same answer that I want to see at the symphony, and it was Outcast for that reason right
Mm,
there.
yeah.
So it's. I mean, I know it's the same difference, but that would go. That would be crazy to me. But again, I'm not that huge of a fan. Although I will say I did enjoy the Juvenile shit that was turned. They was having a good time in there,
Mm,
and the Scarface shit was dope too. They doing their job, man. They got the right hip hop people in there. You know what I'm saying? Jay's
yes,
never gonna
they
do it.
do.
I wouldn't do it if I was him. I'm gonna be honest. You're never gonna get Beyonce in there. You're
Crazy.
never gonna get Rihanna in there. There's a list of people you're never going to get, dude. It just is what it is. It's
I
a.
gotta look up.
They're not complaining about it, so why should I?
I gotta look up the Tiny Desk and see some of the big names who've been on it before I take that stance. Cause I think it would be dope. That would be fire. All right, speaking of back to hip hop and on an everyday basis, Breakfast Club, your spot, your show. I just finished a Boosie interview, which was hilarious. Sexyy Red was up there. As you mentioned, my hip hop person of the year. And
Mm.
Sexyy Red was straight up giving just hilarious the cold shoulder, AB. I'm talking about damn near had her back turned to her in the interview. And credit just hilarious. She was trying to make it work and trying to figure out what the problem was, but it didn't seem to go over well. Do you think that Sexyy Red handled the situation right?
Shout out to when we gonna get that Sexy Red Tiny. Now, listen. I like how she handled that. I'm gonna keep it real because this
Ooh,
happens a
Sexy
lot.
Red, that's some shit you would do. That's some shit you
Now, I
would
love
do.
how she handled it. I love because what happened is, and the internet did what the internet does, and they pulled up the clip. That Sexy Red was probably the clip that she was referring to that Just Hilarious
Okay,
had
so they
said
did
about
find
her
it.
a long time ago about something smelling and all that. Like she made a little joke. a little jokey joke, and some people just don't. They don't like that shit. But I think you know what Charlamagne said it best. A lot of people are cool with comedians and shit until the joke is on you, and then now you can't take it, or now you don't like that, or it's not funny. Then that's one way to look at it too. But you got to keep that energy though. I respected it. She wasn't like disrespectful or nothing. She was just like, man, like you being you. And then Jess Hilarious like, what did I say? I don't know what I said. Like, come on, man. Don't do the I don't know what I said shit. That's lame. Shout out to Sexyy Red. She gained a new fan, man. I thought that was funny. I respected it.
That's hilarious.
You don't forget none of that shit. At what point
do we credit? I mean, but at what point do we credit professionalism though? Like either you go.
She was professional.
Like listen, it was not.
She just don't like the fake shit, man. She knew to it.
I mean, but here's the point. What I mean when I say not professional, Breakfast Club is a daily syndicated show. There are going to be people over there who may not be familiar with Sexyy Red or as familiar as a fan would be.
Okay.
So, me myself, someone that doesn't watch Breakfast Club all the time, I see her on there, and I named her my person of the year, as you just said. I was interested in, okay, I want to see what she's talking about. Let me see if I can get some information, make me like her more, understand her more. Instead, the first 20 minutes is spent with y'all going back and forth about some shit I could care less about, bro. I don't give a fuck what Jess Hilarious said. I don't care why you mad. That ain't why you up here, bro. You up here for marketing your business. And she say, oh, I usually don't even do these. As if she's too big for the Breakfast Club, which is insane. But I just didn't think that, like, we can handle that beforehand. We can handle it afterhand. And I'm going to have the same criticism because I've said this about Envy. When he walks out and stuff, that's not professional, bro. That ain't what y'all do up here or is supposed to do up here on this platform. And I know, like you said, we're not robots. People do get emotional. I get that. However, I think there's a time and a place for it. And if I got a business objective at hand, which is going up here and telling people about my product, I don't got time to be going back and forth with you about some shit that you said that you don't even remember because you're being goofy. Like it just took it away. I cut it off. I didn't even get past okay, maybe they'll figure out what the fuck happened, but I don't even want to see it no more. Now, I don't care what Jess Hilarious said, bro. I don't care that you mad, Sexyy Red, but I would like to know some background. I would like to know how how you got to this point that if you had started out there, boom, we good. But you took 20 minutes talking about bullshit that I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't think that's the platform for her to go into. She needs to go to a place where she can tell her story because that is an interesting piece. Because people don't know she had been trying her hand at music for a while now. It just seems like she just blew up out of nowhere. That's usually how it feels. Yep. So there is a story there. Clearly, they did get to some shit like how the sex tape leaked and all of that. That's people want to hear about that, whatever the case may be. But the whole 30 seconds on the beef thing, it would have been fine. But if she would have owned up to it and be like, man, that was a joke. I know what you're probably referring to. You're probably referring to the X, Y, and Z. That was a joke. I'm a comedian. Like, come on now. Then we could have just wrapped that up and kept the story going, dude. But they didn't. That's not how they did it.
Goofy. She was making it about her being too goofy. And two, I want people to understand I ain't completely lost my ways. If Sexyy Red had came in like Birdman, I wouldn't have been mad at her. I ain't even finna play these games with you, bitch. Keep my name out your mouth. If she had did the Birdman, Charlamagne, like I would have stood up and applauded and doubled down on my fandom. But like it was too on the fence for me. Either go on and make the declaration and say it is what it is, or like just forget about it. But all this, oh well, what did I do? I was like, shut up.
That's what I'm saying.
She came in there, keep my name out your motherfucking mouth, bitch. Blah blah. Nigga, and she had the next viral moment of Breakfast Club, I would have been here for it, bro. But not the. You
can't want to keep the professionalism, but then want her to come in like Pac. Which one is it, dude?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna be ratchet, let's be ratchet. But let's not mix it up. Let's like, oh, I'm gonna be a little bit ratchet, a little bit like. Let's go ahead and draw the lines in the sand, and I'm gonna do what it do, like Birdman. Or we can come up here, conduct an interview, and once we get done, we're going to talk about what we need to talk about. But the last thing I want to see is something like Envy would do and walk out, or something like what she was doing and make it a bigger deal than it was. Because clearly she didn't give a fuck. Like she was really kind of playing into it too. Like she didn't really care. Stand on business, like the kids say. Go in there standing on business, man. That's what I want to see.
Will she be making headlines this time next year?
That's a really good question.
And I'm not saying to the level of what she's doing now, like Breakfast Club and all, because she's hot right now, got the Drake song out. I'm just saying, will she still be even semi-relevant or better this time next year? Would you be surprised? Maybe that's the question.
I don't know if I'd be surprised.
I
wouldn't go as far as being surprised. You wouldn't. You think she can keep she got a strong enough runway where next year she'll still have
I ain't
I
gonna
guess
lie.
she can keep doubling down on being ratchet.
But
Like
she
it's
got, you got to
another booty
realize
hole
too
brown
though.
hook out there.
You got to realize it's past the booty hole brown shit. That was 4 or 5 songs ago. Like she got 4 or 5 songs right now that niggas can play. I went to the trap karaoke shit. They play that SRTs and Hellcats. They played that Shake Your Dreads. They played that Looking for the Hole. Like all the songs, people knew all of them songs, dude. And
And
I
it
was
was
like,
hype.
oh
And it was
shit,
hype. And
they
they
were
played the
hype.
ski and it was hype in there.
She got
That's
four
what I'm
or
saying.
five
Is she gonna be able to
joints.
keep doing that? Is she gonna
Hey,
be able to keep doing that?
if you all you
Meg
gotta
was
do
in
is get a
this.
beat.
Wasn't
Look,
Meg in this position 2 years ago?
yeah, yeah. And had she not got shot in the foot and all the bullshit, she still would be. But I'm saying you keep getting them beats from Tay Keith. Hey, give me your 3 hardest beats, nigga, and put something over top of that shit, and half the battle is done. At least the beat gonna be hard as fuck. So, and now she probably in different rooms with different artists now. You just do what Drake say to do. Drake, do what now? Okay. Oh, it's a hit. Damn, what do you know? Like, bro, now I'm hot again. Like, bro, that shit crazy.
If
And real,
she's if she's developed out if she's developed out these relationships that she's gotten over these last year and a half, yeah, I would say yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Real quick, Big Boy has done a Tiny Desk, but not Outkast or Andre, for the record.
Yeah, I don't even want to see that. I'm cool. Shout out to Big Boy though.
Super good on the Big Boy.
I ain't even gonna hold you.
What are you gonna do on there, bro? And none of the Big Boy solo run. Like we let him cook because he legendary status with the group.
Big Boy.
But that solo run ain't nothing if we're keeping it a band.
Yeah, especially comparing it to what he did at Outkast. Like that
Oof.
Sir Lucius left foot arrow. That Sir Lucius left foot arrow was rough, bro. It's some niggas out here that argue down. I know niggas.
No,
that
they
say,
won't.
Like, that,
nah,
that
ain't no way, bro.
I promise you, bro. It's some real East Atlanta niggas and Decatur niggas that'll tell you that Big Boy has had a better career and is a better rapper than Andre.
Well, nigga, if you're talking niggas that grew up on the same street, then yes, they'll probably ride for him. But I'm talking about everybody outside of the block that he came up on, bro. Like, no.
I just said they out there. I ain't tell you where they was from. They out there. Just know that.
Man, next up, man, your boy Fat Joe said he doesn't want his kids to be rappers. He was in Art Basel last week in Miami. He made an appearance at the Earn Your Leisure panel. He said, I tell my daughter all the time, she ain't with it and she ain't listening to me, but I tell her all the time. She'd be like, what you want me to do? And I'd be like, be an accountant. do anything but rap, basically. What do you think about Fat Joe, a successful rapper in his own right, telling his kids, hey, man, do anything but this right here?
Man, you can't help but to listen, especially since Fat Joe has seen a successful career and he's telling you this ain't what you want from it. But also, if you're a kid, you see the lifestyle that's been provided from you're like, well, why in the hell wouldn't I? It's an interesting intersection as far as even going back to last week when we were talking about how rap is perceived once you get older. Like even maybe 10, 15 years ago before Fat Joe started seeing these media bags and realizing how much more money there was out there and the different things that you do. He may not have had this advice. He may have told his son, yeah, do the rap stuff because it's going to get your foot in the door for you to do the other things out here that I'm doing now. But now it seems that Fat Joe has gotten so far removed from living the lifestyle as a rapper that shit don't even appeal to me no more. And I wouldn't recommend it for anybody coming up, which is a hard thing for me to digest as a fan of hip hop. Because like I was just saying last week with Andre, when it's like, well, I'm not motivated, or saying with T.I., well, I don't want to perform these songs anymore. There's something that needs to be fixed from the transition of up and coming popular rapper to Babe finally being successful to the twilight years when you're looking at it like, why did I do that? Like, why are so many rappers in that position? Is it money that they didn't make? Is it the lifestyle that they lived and they know how dangerous it was and what they were out there doing on the road every night? I really would love an in-depth conversation with a lot of those rappers. It's like, why are you so detrimental to the culture post the culture? Even like what you said with Jay-Z being big for NPR. You, me, he knows, anybody in hip-hop knows if he went up there and done that, bro, that'll break the internet. But as you said, he probably feels like, and like you feel like, well, why would Jay-Z do that? So that's where I'm at with it. What about you?
I think I like when artists say this. Yo, there's 100 million different ways to get money. I said this from my put on last week. Watch the goddamn special on Nashville. There are billions and billions of dollars going in that city, and not one had anything to do with rapping. There's 100 different lanes. Do not think just because I made it this way that this is the only way, because I am one of very few. There's a reason that Jordan's son is not in the NBA, dude. That nigga wasn't good enough. He wasn't Jordan. So, like, and that's okay. There's a limited number of slots allotted to be in the NBA, to be a successful rapper. The odds are against you. The numbers are stacked way in favor of you not making a nickel off of this shit. And that's okay, because you can do 1,000 other things. He said his son was okay at rapping. He said he's okay. And there's a lot of okay niggas out here at rapping. But they'd probably be much better at different shit if they put effort and tried their hand at other shit. So don't think this is the only way. You got to live up to your dad. Your dad's going to be let down if you don't. No, son. No, I'm not. It's okay. You can do something else. Find out where else your talents lie. Get to the bread in one of these other zillion different ways.
That's a really good point that you brought up in your rant. There is the more money that you make from what you're good at, you start to meet more people, and your eyes start to open at all the different ways that people are out here making money.
Exactly.
And then you probably start to think about it, and you're like, well, I ain't have to go. If I had known this 20 years ago, nigga, I wouldn't even have been rapping.
Yep.
And it's a lot more lucrative and a lot more longevity in a lot of those careers. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense in that, because you can speak from a place like, I'll go even to sports. If I was Bronny James, bro, I wouldn't have picked up a basketball. Are you serious, bro? What?
Again, but again, if they dad is their hero, so you want a lot of people naturally kind of want to do what they dad do.
Exactly. But like you said, Bron probably wanted his son to play because he wants a legacy to live on. But I could see that from that standpoint too. Now I've kind of converted over to the other way. Fat Joe is right, bro. I provided you with the opportunity. Like I built this so you don't have to do this. Rapping is not the ideal career. There's a lot more stuff, even in the music, that you could probably make a lot more money on, be a lot less stressful, and have a lot more success in it as far as longevity. And it ain't all it's cracked up to be. So yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see him telling his son.
And then think of
listen.
Well, that's another story. But think of Fat Joe's journey though. Think of the Terror Squad, and we talked about this not too long ago. The stories that came from all. He's thinking about that, nigga. That's how I had to come up in this shit. He don't want none of it. People don't want none of that shit to happen to their kids, dude. They don't want T.I. don't want his son King out here trying to rush trap street shit and get into it with niggas. And he like, nigga, I did all that so you didn't have to. So that's the whole purpose. Like, please go do something else. Like, that's more, I don't want to say traditional, but it's just, people got to realize, and this has been a topic in our community, there's more than basketball or football and rapping to make it out. There's more ways to make it out than those. And those are the more popular ones and the fun ones, and niggas would do that even if they weren't getting paid. So I get it, but there's other ways to get it. Don't shut your mind off from these other avenues. That's all. I think that's all Fat Joe's saying.
Yeah, it was funny. He said, if your uncles try to take the money that I leave you, and they want to suggest they can get you a rap career, he's like, do not do it.
Yeah, they lying.
Money and put it somewhere else. That was funny as hell.
They lying.
Keeping it in the OG lane, Bun B was recently asked who reminded him. Nori asked him, this is Drake Champs, your favorite show. Nori recently asked Bun, who does he see in the game today that reminds him of Pimp C? And he named an interesting pick, Megan Thee Stallion. He said that's the female version of Pimp and everything that he entitled. When you saw that, AB, what did you think?
Yeah, that makes sense. She calls herself Tina Snow, a play on Pimp C. Yeah, call himself Tony Snow. So she is from the cloth. She talks the talk like how Pimp C talk. That's kind of part of her kind of brand. Or when she came up, she kind of talks slick. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuck her chest out, had big energy, just like Pimp C did, had all the confidence in the world. Pimp C was in the Big Pimpin' video in Miami in 100-degree weather with a fur coat on, dude. Like, he didn't give a fuck. So, like, that's kind of the persona she's taken on when she first came out. I don't see that so much now. She's established herself. She don't really have to be, she could be whatever the fuck she want to be at this point. But I can see the comparison. Now, was Pimp C had more, well, I was gonna say he had like more charisma and shit, but like Megan Thee Stallion got that shit too, though. She got the swag too, though. That's kind of part of her appeal. Honestly, I'm speaking from like a dude perspective. Obviously, like she's attractive and all of that shit, but she talking that shit like with confidence. That stuff is also attractive. So like that's part of her brand, and I could. That's to me. That's spot on. Honestly, I ain't mad at that. What you think?
You know what? I looked at it and said the same thing.
Yeah,
That is a good pick. That is the closest thing that I could see in this game today. On the male side, it's not anybody with that big of a personality talking the talk that Pimp C talk. And that may just be nostalgia for me or you because we grew up in that era. We saw him in his prime going hard. But yeah, Meg does that. When she busted on the scene, like you look, hey, damn, she talking that talk and she can really rap. She look good. She thick. Like niggas was all in. So I could see him saying this and this being something to lean on and be like, yeah, that's the female Pimp C. I wonder would she run with it though. Like I wonder
she
how
already
much she could
has.
dig into it. I'm saying even more so than that. Like you said, it's
Uh,
kind of she's almost kind of turned the corner
that's
to
true.
being more grown up, more mature now. I wonder how would she double back down on it being the Bun that said this. That would be an interesting thing to see because as we'll get into later, it's getting a little bit more ratchet out there, even for Meg standards.
And also, this is musically only, like, cause Pimp C was outspoken outside the booth. Her not so much. That's a different set of
True.
personalities.
Very
Now
true.
you could argue there's some rappers who lean more toward Pimp C, like outside the booth, that speak their mind and ain't afraid to really
Yeah.
XYZ blah blah blah. But in the booth, man, to me that's pretty. That's not bad. I'm not mad at it. I get
That's a
it.
good pick by Bun.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Unless you know that Bun tapped in. He ain't really just out the he ain't just selling burgers now. He's still paying attention
I
to
mean,
what's
that
going
isn't
on.
his backyard though. We talk. It ain't like she's from Nebraska, nigga. She from Houston, dude. Like,
Yeah, but still, you got to be like,
there's some
you
home
could
cooking
miss
there,
Megan Thee
dude.
Stallion. You out here, bro, I'm selling burgers on Good Morning America. Y'all niggas asking me about who I think Pimp C. I don't know, motherfucker. Like, that very well could have been his answer. Like,
That's
how the
why
fuck
niggas
would I
don't go
know,
to
nigga?
drink champs
Have you
right
seen
there.
Trill Burgers?
That's
Have you
why
seen
niggas.
Trill Burgers?
No, that's why niggas don't go to drink champs, dude. Because you asking these basic ass under these basic ass slow pitch ass questions, dude. Nigga, I'm changing the game, nigga. I'm finna
Working on my
franchise
ninth
this shit.
franchise.
Man, what I'm saying, nigga, I'm finna
Nigga
franchise this
asking
shit
a
in
nigga who I
50
think Pimp
states,
C
nigga.
is.
You asking me about some goddamn man? That's what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you about this secret sauce on these burgers, Dory. How about that, nigga? Let me tell
The
you about this
fuck?
Pimp C sauce that we start.
Come on, man.
That's hard too. Hit me up, Bun. The Pimp C sauce. Oh, come on, man. That shit
Slight
selling out
pause
of the
on that
stores.
though. Just a slight pause on that. I don't know if I want Pimp C sauce on my burger.
Pimp
Oh
C sauce on the burger?
no, no, I'm good. You want extra Pimp C sauce? Like imagine ordering extra Pimp C sauce. Like, come on, bro. Like no, nigga, the fuck.
Let me get a burger with a side of that Pimp C sauce, bro. Don't put it on the
No,
burger. Don't put it on the side.
never saying that. I gotta go to the spot, but I
Watch
ain't
when that
saying
comes.
that.
Yeah, I definitely need one of them burgers, man. All right,
Oh, for the record too.
next, what we got?
While we on this theme though, Bun B has never done a tiny desk.
That would
Does
be
he
dope.
deserve one?
That would definitely be dope. Yes,
I think that will
because
work.
that's some yeah, that's some riding dirty songs, some pocket full of stones, is some
Don't do the
chill.
solo
Yeah,
shit.
absolutely.
Don't do the solo shit though.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
do that in any kind of way.
you can do that dun 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 dun
That's what I'm. He
dun
got a
dun dun
couple
with the
solos.
hole.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he got a couple.
We saying the
Nice.
same thing.
We don't need a whole set of Trill
No,
Six on Tiny. We don't need that.
no. Just a couple songs. Just a couple
uh,
songs, and the rest need to be UG.
Speaking of journalism, man,
Mm,
Your boy Elliott been throwing
yeah.
shots at Nicki seemingly over all weekend, which kind of got weird after a while. I'm not gonna lie. But he
Mhm.
posted a picture of Nicki Minaj during the Kai Cenat stream, and they were kind of dancing. It was a really silly looking picture, um, which alluded to him kind of hating for her doing this as media because he put journalism in hip hop journalism in 2023. So it seemed to be a shot at the young streamer Kai Cenat, who's 21, and Nicki Minaj, who's 41, who just put out her project. He did double back and apologize and said, okay, I went a little too far. Salute to the young kid doing this thing, XYZ. Did he have a point about the journalism, hip hop journalism in 2023 being in the shitter? Because that's essentially what he was trying to say.
I don't think it's in the shit. I think it's just different from what he's used to. Like, and I'll even double down and say, I get it. I can understand him hating. Because me also as a middle-aged man looking at that stream, I'm like, bro, what in God's green earth is going on? Even with the jail stuff. But it's not for me. Nicki Minaj is a multi-platinum, multi-country, worldwide artist. She's a very brilliant marketer, and she understands that those markets have to be tapped if she want to do 3-something in the first week.
Yeah.
I can't do that sitting up there with you, Elliott. I'm sorry, bro. I know you still got reach in your traditional media and traditional hip hop, but that shit get niggas to 55 and 60,000 first week. And Nicki Minaj is not that type of artist. So while I do understand where he's coming from, because he comes from the same school that we do, sit down interviews, talking about it. But the thing about that is artists didn't want to do that either. So it's not like Nicki Minaj was beating down Kai Cenat's door to go up there and say, hey, I need to do this. She knows that she needs to do that for marketing. My problem with what Elliott is doing is why even bring it up if you're going to go back and apologize, at least stand on it. Like now motherfuckers is calling you, telling you that you was wrong, Nicki disagreeing with you now. Oh, I see what the young man is doing. Nigga, you seen it before. But you know that hating is going to get you clicks. That's another new wave of marketing that people will do. Like you can hate and what the outrage marketing? And then you know it's going to get picked up and you know Nicki's going to go back and forth. And that's how you stay relevant. Why don't you go do your hip hop journalism thing and stay relevant that way and see if that keeps the lights on over there. But you know that it won't because you've done the studies just like Kai Cenat people have, just like Nicki Minaj people have, and all of it has a place to play in hip hop nowadays. It's growing. It can't stay the same. Niggas can't just go sit with Angie Martinez, Breakfast Club, Ebro, and you and promote an album anymore. It's kids out there that are not going to see that, and you still are trying to sell to those kids. So while I do get what Elliott is saying, it is hating, and if you're going to hate, stand on it, nigga, or do something about it. So.
Yeah, I'll put it like this. If you're going to be the old man, get off my lawn in hip-hop, you might as well just wear that. You know what I'm saying? There's people that agree with you. Now, it may come to a point where you won't be able to get anybody but KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane on your show. Like you may alienate yourself from all of hip hop, and I know you don't want to do that, but I understand the disdain for that platform upon first glance. I do understand that because if you look at it, they're dancing, they're doing this, they look goofy, they look silly, but you got to understand when niggas was young and we would spend the night and go kick it over. When you're having fun, you more than likely look silly, bro. Like it is what it is, bro. Whether you drunk or whether you just kicking it, but that's the whole point. You don't care about how you look. Niggas is just having fun. Like they just while they dance, they playing games, whatever the fuck you doing, dude. People, you're not so caught up in how you look and worried about appearance and all of this when you're in the moment and you just kicking it. And some could argue that maybe we have lost that right there because we're so concerned about how we look or how it's going to look if I do this, even though I'm having a good time. Are you having a good time? Is it genuine? Is it fun? That's why homie's platform is where it's at, because he's taking these artists that seem larger than life and he's putting them in a Home Alone sleepover type atmosphere where they look more human, and they're probably gonna kick out of that because they probably hadn't done nothing like that in a long ass time, and then niggas low key miss those days. Like you get older, you get some money, you get some bread, you slick miss the days when you didn't have all that extra shit that come with it. So that's the appeal. And so Elliott may have sat and thought about that. He's smart enough to put that together, but he's also reactionary enough to not give a fuck on that first glance, see the picture, screenshot it, and tweet it in 2 seconds. And he probably just regretted it, or gave it some thought and saw the other side, or it could all be a shuck and a rollout for his interview that he got coming up next week. That too, who knows?
Probably that in the last part. And as you were explaining that, you know what I thought? I thought that we had that, and it was just for our generation. It was Rap City. Niggas go play pool. Like
exactly.
Some of the most iconic Rap City moments when niggas were having fun. They telling stories around a pool table.
Yep.
Cameron got the big thing of money in there. Wayne in there going crazy. Like all of that stuff was
that's true.
It was our age version, and then you probably had older niggas like, man, they doing too much in that basement and shit. Like they should just do an interview. But that's exactly what we did at Rap City, and that's what made it appeal to us. That's why we would sit there and wouldn't want to miss a second of it. All them niggas just standing around shooting pool. Oh, but did you hear the story that he told about the video vixen while they was shooting the pool? Like that was a part of it, bro. And I thought about that as you were explaining it. That was exactly what we did on Rap City.
That's a very good point. That because that again, that was his mama's basement. Niggas was coming over his mama crib to kick it. That's exactly what that was.
Freestyle, nigga, come show out exactly.
And that's what homie doing, bro. Like so when you put it in that context, and again, not everybody sees that on face value though. They see a 41-year-old over a 21-year-old house, and they like, well, bro, what the fuck is this? And some could still think that even after our explanation. That's fine. But I'm saying you still there's a piece there that makes sense as to why someone would do it, in addition to the look and all that. We get that part. But don't hate. I don't like to hate because he sounded like a hater. And it kind of got weird because he did multiple tweets about it. It was kind of like, bro, you weird. He has an interview right now that he put out this weekend with BG and Gucci Mane, because they put out a collab project this weekend. It's the first BG interview, or big interview. He may have done some radio stations local, with all due respect to them. Big hip hop platform that BG has done. So he may have been doing that to get more looks on that, which would actually be a smart play. But I encourage people to check that interview out because that's needed. I think there's a space for the homie doing the sleepover shit, and there's a space for I got the first BG interview, and we get into the mental of how he was. Did you write in jail? Was it like all of that shit? What's it been like coming out? What's it been like? Boom, 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 boom. Did you ever think this was gonna be? He talked about how he didn't think he stopped writing in jail, bro. He was like, bro, I ain't gonna never be back on. He said, they asked him, did he write? He said, bro, for about the first 2 or 3 years, I didn't write shit because I figured this was it. I'm like, this is the end, bro. I'm never getting a chance again. And so to hear BG say that, when last time you heard BG talk? Like, this shit was good. Like, so that's needed, and you have that space, but just don't hate on the next nigga, though, man. He could be the next you, nigga. Quit hating.
Facts. That is a dumb fact. Him and Nori bad at that, man. And
man, they got that real bad.
But they got it bad. Let that shit go, nigga. All right, next. Glorilla came out in response to Fab. Fab recently said that females have so much to rap about. Female MCs got so many different advantages, from speaking about childbirth to just the different perspectives that a woman would have growing up in the world that we grow up in. And he said they should utilize that more versus what's being pushed, and that's sex, 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 sex. Glorilla came out in response to it and said, well, what do men rap about? All y'all niggas rap about is murder, drugs, and killing, and y'all actually go out and do it to each other. And we sitting over here sitting pretty. At least it doesn't bleed over into the lives that we live. Who had the best point here, AB?
So here's the thing. We talked about Fab's comments. This happened a couple of weeks ago. At least it feels like. And I thought he had a point. Now, here's Glorilla has a slight point, but she deflected from the actual question, which is what a lot of people tend to do when they feel like they're being attacked. Because you could argue she would fall into the category of people that he was talking about. But he made it very clear that he was not disrespecting or trying to be disrespectful of the artist, but that it's more powers that be that are pushing this, making it seem like it's the only way to go. So to Glorilla's point, well, what answering a question with a question is always a defense. It's a deflect. It just kind of is what it is. She felt attacked, so that's how she decided to respond. Well, what do men rap about? Yes, you're right. Men do rap about wild shit too. But the person in question who this came from, the messenger, Fab, actually has songs about his kids. He actually has songs about the relationship with his parents. He actually has real shit to go on along with it. He got it balanced out with some street shit and some club shit and some other shit, blah, 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 blah. But so it's hard for me to hear your point when the person, the messenger, is actually on that type of time that he was referencing. Now, if he didn't make shit like that and was bringing this up, he'd be a hypocrite. But he didn't do that. I mean, he's not that person. So because Glorilla rides around and listens to Black Youngster all day, she thinks that that's all niggas rap about. No, that's just the niggas that you're listening to. There's definitely balance out here. And niggas rap about their kids, and niggas rap about their parents. I can name 30 songs right now niggas got about their kids off the dome. And so that's more of what Fab was talking about, because there's a perspective with women that dudes can't talk on. They literally can't speak on it. So, like, whereas you have an unfair advantage that y'all aren't using, or at least that's not being pushed. That's all he was saying. So I'm team Fab with this, even though I understand her response because she felt attacked.
Yes, and she has the right to feel attacked that way because, as she says, like female rappers aren't getting killed. Like they not dying behind the music. So I understand
Not
in that
yet.
sense. Not yet.
That's the part.
Where I would disagree with her is Fab. Like again, what Fab is saying, and this is when you're talking to younger kids, you have to be very careful and like making sure they get what you're saying. Fab ain't saying that y'all shouldn't do that, and he ain't even saying that you have to do it if you don't feel like it. He's just saying that it's more promoted from the people behind y'all, your
Right.
label, the people that make the music popular. It's a reason why it's you, why it's Sexyy Red, why it's Meg, why it's Nicki, why it's Cardi. While there are other rappers who are just as talented who may not be on that type of time, like I can't even remember, like what's her name in
Rhapsody.
North Carolina? Rhapsody, like a Shay Noir, like a
Yeah.
Tink. Like they're different rappers out there who are just as good as these ladies, but they don't rap about the same stuff and they're not promoted in the same way. Men have gotten past that. J. Cole don't rap about the same shit that NBA Youngboy rap about,
Yeah.
nor does Drake,
Well, Kendrick.
nor does Kendrick Lamar, nor
Yeah.
does Tyler the Creator, nor does
Chance.
Killer Mike.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper was pushed as number one for a long time. So you do have big name artists who are able to do that. Whereas you're talking about female MCs, you get Nicki Minaj, who's talking about the same thing that Lotto is talking about right now.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is, I ain't saying that there ain't people out there that do it. I'm just saying that they don't push it the way that it should be pushed. And with men, because it's, I guess, a more wide variety, you have those different selections at the top. Another thing that I would like to address is what she said is that it doesn't bleed over into music. And I would disagree with that.
You mean in real life?
Yes. Because they may not be shooting and killing each other, but I do think the perception of a young lady growing up has drastically changed based off the music that they listen to. And you can sit here all day and say, "Oh, well, music doesn't affect this, that, and the third." I'm here. I'm a living witness to tell you that it does. When I listen to rap every day, youngster coming up, I thought totally different from how I think right now, since I don't listen to it as much and I know a little bit more stuff. But if it had been a Sexyy Red rapping to me when I was 20 years old or 19 years old, or any other one of these ladies that have that one tone message that Fab is talking about, it 100% is affecting the perception of young girls out here. And you can't say that it's not, because you and I come from a generation where I'm old enough to, well, I'll speak for me. I won't speak for you. I'm old enough to know at my age now, a lot of the music that I listened to did 100% affect my decision making and some of the things that I did. And I wouldn't have been doing that had I been listening to something else or had some different type of input in my life other than Tupac is my uncle and Pimp C is my uncle. And these guys are raising me, but they're raising me through a perspective that I don't necessarily have to have. So
Yeah, no, I understand that there's going to be some influence. There's going to be some influence, obviously. Parents help if they're able.
parents do
That's situations like
influence,
that.
like you
Now,
said, it
obviously,
ain't necessarily 100%, but it's
we know motherfuckers can't stand over you and watch every move you do and everything you take in. That's not realistic. We understand that. What I'm saying is, I would have loved. I'm talking about. I would have been very impressed had she came back and said, well, you talking about like you want females to rap about giving birth and shit. How many female rappers have kids during their careers? Foxy Brown didn't. Lakim didn't. Megan didn't. When Cardi first started, she didn't. Nicki just now had one. So there's not a lot of, who is gonna rap about giving birth? Nigga, they ain't got no fucking kids. That would have been a response. Now that response, Rhapsody ain't got kids. Bro, they don't have kids, dude. So like, nigga, what are you talking about? How you want me to rap about something I ain't got? Like, and I know he didn't specifically say Glorilla should be. He didn't say that, but that response would have been. I would have been impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but
or if she had been able to quote that some of those perspectives are out there, because like I said, Rhapsody raps about all of that shit. Like,
does
her even rapping like not having kids, you can exclude it, but she has a wide variety of topics.
Oh, for sure.
Interesting. You're like, damn, that's dope from a female.
Absolutely.
Like, she got this song called, one of my favorite songs by her is called "The Man," when she's rapping from a perspective of like,
that's the shit.
What a good man per se is, but not like preachy as a woman, but like what would go through his head as she sees it from a woman's.
Yeah, that's fire.
Really good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't listen. I know that everybody is not Everybody is not going to be on a Rhapsody tip. You got some shit that's going to be clubs that you got, and that's fine. You just name the guys that are. But then again, it's not the female pool is not as robust right now. It's a one-way ticket in terms of being successful and being on TV or what people deem as successful. So I understand that it'll balance out eventually. Hopefully, you just got to keep it. You got to keep the Rhapsodies and the Shea Noirs and all them keep going.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, the people hear them and are inspired. You continue to grow the pool of female MCs that do that. All right, before we get into the wins and the losses of the week, AB KRS-One, he declined the Grammy 50th hip hop celebration because, and I quote, they never reached out for anything prior to build a relationship, end quote. So why would I do that now? What do you think?
He had a I actually really respected how he handled this because he spoke about it without stepping on the people who did decide to participate in the celebration. He did so speaking strictly for himself and strictly for the origins of the culture of hip hop. He almost separated that from rap. He said what they celebrated was rap. What he was talking about was the culture of hip hop, the things that it stood on, the DJing, the graffiti, all the fundamentals, which is what you're supposed to be celebrating on a 50th anniversary. You're supposed to be celebrating the birth of it. And he said the Grammys has never truly really fucked with hip hop like that. Most of the times they don't air our awards. Most of the time, you know what I'm saying? Like they give it to people that don't deserve the shit. They clearly been half-assed and thinking they could have reached out on the 47th year to at least build the relationship for what was to come on the 50th. But it came off like y'all are riding the 50th wave and thinking that just because you're the Grammys calling that I'm supposed to drop everything and come. He said, you want to know what it really would have been hip hop? If somebody would have got on there on stage during their performance, he said, nigga, fuck the Grammys, nigga. That would have been hip hop. He said, but that's not what people were doing. They were rapping, and that's nothing wrong with that. They got great looks. From what I saw from the show, the performances were good. And so I thought he did a very good job of balancing his perspective without stepping on or shitting on the people who are coming off as high and mighty with the people who did participate. That was a really good clip. It was about 3 minutes. I encourage people to check it out because I thought he handled that well. And I feel him. I feel him.
KRS-One has always been one of the best people in this culture of articulating himself. So I'm sure the point that he made was great. Like I always say, we talk about the expectations of the Grammys. Like we know what they're about, bro. And yes, it can be cashing in, but just ask for a bigger check, bro. Like because even with you declining, it really doesn't affect them in any way. Like it's not gonna mend the relationship. Like they're not gonna call you next year and try to build a relationship, nor are they gonna start showing the awards on TV. Like none of this is going to be impactful towards anything as it would have been had you been the nigga to accept the invitation and been the nigga to go up there and say, fuck hip hop. You should have been the one to do it.
Oh, fuck the Grammys.
Like, yeah, excuse me, fuck the Grammys. Excuse me. He, like, KRS-One is so New York, and I love hearing some of his points that he makes, but I think this is like throwing rocks at the moon. Like we can get up here, we talk about it in the show, we can be disappointed every year in how the Grammys plays hip hop and how the misrepresentations that they do with not being on TV. But until they see a nigga like KRS-One, who is a trendsetter, who is one of the forefathers of this genre, he was supposed to be the one to do that. He was supposed to be the one to play it cool and go up there and say, fuck them, then do the interviews afterwards and then tell them, nigga, I did that because for 50 years, they tried to play us. And now they see everybody on top and trying to give us our props. And they invited us all out here like we supposed to dance around like puppets. Yeah, I got something for y'all ass. As soon as the lights come on. And hold the cards tight to your vest. Don't let nobody you're gonna do it and boom, go from there. But it was taped. It probably would have never made the air.
That's true.
We had to read about it somewhere. But that would have been dope for him to do versus sitting back saying, hey, almost pouting like I'm mad and I'm trying to get reparations for all the shit that happened prior to. Nigga, go in there and make an impact. Shake that shit up.
Yeah.
Because he has the capability to do so.
I would argue that I could argue that he did a disservice by not being there for all the people that need to know who he is and need to know the history that we're watching.
Thanks.
The people that were watching
it was bigger for him.
You know what I'm saying? You robbed
It
them
was bigger for
a little
him
bit
than
of
it was the Grammys, bro.
lesson. But hey, I also respect the FU money of not
Yeah,
needing it and not going. I ain't
yeah.
mad at that
I
either.
get where you're coming from. I'm on the same page as you. I get where you're coming from. Would have, like you said, it would have been a lot more important for people to be like, damn, who was dude right there that just said fuck the Grammys? And
Yeah,
then going back and listening to all that and being schooled on, like, nah, dude he was about that life.
yeah,
And just knowing his story based off that appearance. So
yeah.
kind of a mishap there.
If anybody wants to watch that, it's on Paramount Plus, I believe, or is it? No, it's on Peacock. I don't know, one of the two. Check
Paramount
out
Plus. It's on
Peacock.
Paramount Plus.
It's
I
on
see where it is.
Paramount. Y'all check out the 50th Grammy celebration if you care to. I heard it was dope. But I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. But
I
let's get to
understand.
these wins and these losses. W or L to your boy Rick Ross. He says in first quarter of 2024, it's not a new album. It's not a new business venture. He said he vows to
The
climb
goal.
Mount Kilimanjaro. How the fuck you say it? Kilimanjaro
That's right.
in early
Yeah.
2024. He said he's going to do it. Is that W or an L?
It's a W if this is documented. Because God, they need the GoPro camera, whatever it may be, bro. Because I can tell you right now, going into 2025, and you ask our favorite moments of 2024, it's gonna be Rick Ross climbing this mountain. They need to live stream that 24 hours, bro. I would pay money to see this, dude. In this, he said he gonna have the bat phone helicopter where if he gets stuck, fall
No.
out, the helicopter.
When he gets stuck, nigga, not if. Ain't no if.
Bro, this would be hilarious, man. So yeah, that's a W. Would you want to see this?
Of course. What are you talking about? Only
Yeah.
apparently only 2/3 of people reach the peak that do it. Well, I mean, only 2/3. That's a decent amount of people. But usually altitude sickness and like health problems will get you before you make it to the top. So you got to be in peak conditioning. And with all due respect to Rick Ross, man, I don't know what his regimen is for these next couple of weeks, but nigga, you better get to it if you think you're finna climb the top of that shit. Like, come on, bro.
Please stream it. Please stream that, bro. Please, God, stream that. That's gonna be gold.
This ain't the first time he
Oh,
said that he was gonna do that. He said he was gonna do Tanzania, the mountain in Tanzania about last year. That didn't happen. So
yeah,
this is new promise. Uh
that's funny.
Next up, man, winner or loss, Cam, Killer Cam. Of course, you know him and Mace got something going crazy over that It Is What It Is sports show. Cam said he originally wanted Jada Kiss to be his partner, but Kiss never showed up for the audition, so he went with his old friend Cam. Is that a winner or loss? We didn't get that Jada and Cam show.
This is a win because the Cam and Mace, like
Yeah,
just from being growing up with each other, the chemistry is gold.
yeah.
We needed it, sports needed it, just our perspective, it's perfect. But I will say this: it's not a knock to Jada Kiss. Jada Kiss is very well equipped to talk sports. He People would be surprised at how good of a conversation that he keeps up outside of the hip hop stuff because he's so good at it. Most people, when they do that, they don't pay attention to a lot of the shit. You get to like the Lil Wayne niggas, like don't know what's going on. Jada Kiss is definitely not that dude. So that would have been dope. I would like to see him as a guest star on it now, but it's definitely a win because Cam and Mace is gold.
Absolutely. Um, they work. So the right decision was made. Things happen for a reason. Um, last one, man, before we get out of here. Big Hit, which is Hit Boy's dad, just released his album, The Truth Is in My Eyes. He revealed that he kept his last two jail meals from jail. He was just released this year. He did 12 years and 4 months. Is this a winner or loss? One was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the other that was a turkey sandwich. He still has both of them in the bags that they came in. He keeps them in the box as a reminder of not to go back.
Jesus, bro. And the bread molded,
He dropped
egg
out. I mean,
steak.
he was released in February, March, one or two.
Yeah, Hit Boy got to clean this up. Like, Pop, you need to do something about them bags, bro. Like, you're not going back. You with me now. We good. I know you might have PTSD. I get it. I totally understand, but we can throw the sandwiches away, bro. Like, I can get you a gourmet top of the line peanut butter or jelly and a gourmet top of the line sandwich. I get it. I totally understand the sentiment behind it. Like you said,
Mhm.
making sure he never goes back, but seems a little extreme to me. I would have never want to see another one of those sandwiches, the scrub, none of that shit again. Nigga, don't remind me of none of that. I'm good, nigga. I'm surprised that food. Well, ain't no telling what this shit made out of. So no wonder it still kept up for as long as he's been out. But it's a loss,
Listen,
man. What you
the
say?
turkey sandwich looked like it was made yesterday, which was incredible. I was
No
like,
way. He
dude,
got
what the
pictures of it.
fuck? Yes.
It's the same shit that McDonald's made out of.
Dude, this shit look regular. And I was like, man, wait a minute. Why the fuck is this not green? This should be, you shouldn't even be able
Crazy.
to recognize it. It shouldn't look like a turkey sandwich,
Have
bro. It should look like
hair should be
mold.
growing from it and
That's what I'm
everything.
saying. It should be a tree growing from it, dude. Like, why is it still recognizable? Salute to Hit Boy and his dad. He produced the entire project. It's available on his dad's website for $10. I'll stream it when it hits Apple Music. I'm not that invested in buying it, but salute to them though. Real quick, did you see the phone call Snoop had with him? I thought that was too real.
With Hit Boy?
Yeah, with his dad.
I ain't see that.
You gotta watch that clip. Because Snoop called Hit Boy and had him on speakerphone. He was like, man, let me holler at your pops. And he was speaking to him on some like OG to OG shit, like, hey, your son is gonna show you how to stay out, bro. Like, don't like he wasn't sonning them. It was real nigga talk, but somebody they'll confuse it with like he's sonning them. It wasn't like that. It was just like some real nigga to real, like street nigga to street nigga, like, hey, you got an opportunity, man. Your son going. He was kind of telling him like, man, listen, follow your son, bro. Your son got. I know it's weird. You his dad and all that, man, but follow him, bro. He gonna teach you how to stay out, my nigga. Like, don't fuck this shit up, bro. But it was a real nigga moment, though. I respected it.
That's dope. I need to find that 100%.
On deck of the week, man. We going to YouTube. Going back to our last episode. Shout out to the ODOG 93. Oh, excuse me, the O Dog 93. There you go. If you guys were Yo Gotti, would you sign Young Buck? He's a fellow Tennessean, and he could be the vet in CMG, just focusing on making music and giving advice to the youngsters. That's not bad.
I wouldn't do that. Because I just, so here's why. And just from a business standpoint, bro, if I'm Yo Gotti, I got a lot going on, all right? I'm not sure that Young Buck is just like, here go the objective. Like, he still may need like management.
Really?
I ain't got time for that if I'm Yo Gotti. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Bro, this nigga was just in the news. Like, it ain't even been a full year cycle since he been out of the news for doing some dumb shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want the nigga around Moneybag, yo, and there's no discredit the Buck. Like, like, I just don't know. One, I'm not sure, just knowing Young Buck's personality, if he would listen to Yo Gotti. Like, from a full, like, that's my boss standpoint. I think some ego may come into play there. And if I'm Yo Gotti, I do not want to deal with that. And two, like, I don't know how good of an influence he is towards the rest of the artists. Not from a music standpoint, he can show them how to do that, but what happens when the mics are off and we ain't in the booth in the studio? Like, I don't know that he's gonna be the nigga around making the good decisions. And there's literally nothing in Young Buck's past that has shown me he makes good decisions. So from that standpoint,
that's fair.
I would have to say no.
That's fair. And if you watch but here's the thing I will say. I think he may have gotten to a point where you had it, you lost it, you're getting a second chance at life. Maybe you start to look at things a little differently. He fell in line with 50 until people got in his ear. Then it went left.
Yep.
So maybe it's a situation where he's okay being a soldier. He'll fall in line, so to speak, with Yo Gotti, and he'd just be more hands off. He'll hop on a couple of songs with niggas there, Blue Moon, but I'm not mad at that, actually.
It's not a bad idea, but you and I are from Nashville, me more so than you. I'm familiar with some of the niggas that are around Buck. Those same thing mumblings are gonna start coming. Nigga, you work for Yo Gotti. Nigga, y'all was on the same. Like, that's gonna happen. That is 100% on some Nashville hating shit is going to happen. And I don't know how Young Buck will respond to that. They sent a knock to him, but I do know that he's still hanging with people that are that's gonna bring that up. And on some Nashville shit, they're gonna clown him for it. I don't know how he will respond to that.
That's fair. Damn, that'd be a Isla pickup though. Low risk.
It would. That would
get him for the low.
That would be big. If y'all were Yo Gotti, I would consider it, but I'd have to vet that nigga for at least a year. Like it be one of these things where you can, it could be one of these things where you hanging with us and shit, but we ain't signing no paperwork. We can do songs. You can come on whatever we doing. You can come and got going on. But before we make anything official, I need a straight solid year of okay. He got his shit together. He can fuck with us. Not to imply that he don't have his shit together. I just, if I was your guy, I'd fear I have a lot to lose and not be in the news for none of that shit that may happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Give me something to put on, man, or put me on some.
My put on will be similar to last week's with the single that 4-star Lito Love Drug dropped. Some bangers on there, man. Some real grown man rap. I had to quote out a couple of them that I hate rap featuring Charleston White. One of the few times I've heard Charleston White make sense. I really like that last time. I've had that on replete. That last verse about Dolph on there. I don't know who he talking about on the other verses, but that's a really dope song. That last time
was hard.
Featuring Robin Ray Dale. Facts, man. So y'all go check out that Star Lito Love Drug dropped the last week. What you got for us?
Two real quick. I had to put on and a put off. I'm gonna put on the Godzilla movie. I have never seen a Godzilla movie until last weekend. The new one, Godzilla -1, was actually really dope. And I never understood the appeal. It made a little more sense now. This one is in subtitles though. So it takes place in World War II, post-World War II, like Japan. And it was in subtitles. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. But it was actually really good. So if you feel like reading subtitles, that shit was dope. Or if you're a Godzilla fan for whatever reason, I never got into that shit. But this shit was fire.
Series based off that.
Really?
It's a TV. Apple Plus got a TV series.
Oh yeah, some about monsters or
the monster universe.
Yeah. That shit was actually kind of dope.
But I was super lost. the episode was cool. I was dumb lost. I just got to binge that. It's like you, I ain't never watched Godzilla.
Never. Real quick, another put on. Fargo season 5 is in mid stride. It's cooking. It's taking me back to like the first 2 seasons of Fargo. I thought season 3 was some slaw, and season 4 with Chris Rock was okay. This is giving me like season 1, season 2 vibes. It's cooking right now. And my put off, the NBA season is in full swing. My Pistons are terrible. Don't mention anything about the Pistons to me for the rest of the year. I'm out. They're in town right now, and I'm doing this show instead of going to the game, so that should let you know I'm out on the season. I might be out for the next 3 seasons. Nah, I'm out. Yeah,
they weren't giving away free tickets for that shit.
No, they probably were. Niggas wasn't taking them.
Game. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Bro.
Yeah, they ain't searching you or nothing. They just let niggas go in, man.
We ain't got to get. It's good, bro. It's cool. Just go. Ain't nobody in there, no way.
we are some slaw, and it's disappointing. It's the worst I've ever seen my team.
Y'all lost like 23 straight.
Yeah, I think we creeping on the record of the record of like 30. I think 30 is the record.
You gotta try to be that bad. And y'all paid the coach like the highest bag in the league, which makes it even funnier. Insane.
No, it's not funny at all.
Nasty
it's just
work. Nasty work. What's his name? Monty Williams.
Yeah, that's my uncle.
Style for real. He went in there Detroit style for real. Straight off Joy Road with the mask on. Nigga, come on with it. Come on with it. I got another put on though. I don't really watch Breakfast Club a lot, but I tell you whose content I've been really into, man. I think dude is a powerful brother. I love what he does. It's Keith Lee. Like I went down a rabbit hole and watched his TikTok content. That shit is fire. Like that shit really moving. What he's done for some of the restaurants, man, and even his responses and how he talk about what God put him in the places he need to be. I watched that full Breakfast Club interview, man. I hadn't watched a Breakfast Club interview in a minute. I was thoroughly impressed by that brother, man. He seems like a real solid dude. I hope whatever he's doing continues to go up. Dude seems like a really genuine soul. I fuck with Keith Lee, man.
Hey, I don't take no Keith Lee slander. How long before a scandal? Hope they try to get him out of here.
I hope none of the man, they can't get my boy out of here because he seemed like he 100%, bro. Like that.
It's almost too good nigga,
right
bro.
There, man. It is, bro. I'm listening at the interview like, oh, this nigga cold, bro. Like, cold. Like even when they ask him trying to hem him up, well, God put me here to do. I'm like, oh, he cold.
Yeah, he cold.
He is cold.
Yeah,
boy.
he got it.
I fuck with Keith Lee, man. I fuck with him, and it seemed authentic when he be going to the little places. I done sit and watch maybe 30 minutes straight of just like looking at his videos on TikTok, like we going to the restaurants and shit. I fuck with dude, man.
Now,
that interview
real quick. A lot of people feel like if you just what he's doing for businesses, like small businesses, and mostly black, not all, but mostly, like the push that he's giving them, the boost, like those are things that more prominent celebrities could be doing. And if you multiply that in different pockets, then things may look a little different for us as a whole. But I don't know if it's that deep. I'm just saying I'll be seeing that kind of narrative lines.
Something very small to what you're saying that attributes to that. One of the biggest reasons he has an impact because he don't go in expected to be treated like a Keith Lee. And I think in our community, one of the reasons that we work to get fame and superstar, it ain't even just our community, anybody.
Yeah, not everybody.
Like we all want, nigga, you better treat me like I'm something when I come up in here, nigga. You know who I am, nigga. Yep. And that's why he had such a bad experience in Atlanta, because Atlanta, and he said it on the Breakfast Club, bro, and we can attest to it living down here, bro. Atlanta is a status city, nigga. Like, nigga, if you have status and damn near anywhere, shit gonna be a little bit easier for you. And it don't necessarily always have to be that way. Like, and what you're saying, if more celebrities or people like Keith Lee took it and like, don't treat me different, don't treat me special, just do what you do, and I'm gonna make sure the word get out there based off what I do. That shit is fire. I love the business plan, bro. I love the business model.
Yeah, nah, he cold. Stay clean out here, Keith Lee. Don't do no scandalous shit.
Please, bro, don't let us down. Don't let me down, Keith Lee, man. I'm rooting for you, bro. Like, I see a Keith Lee scandal, my heart gonna drop, bro. Like, do not let me down, bro. Damn. Man.
Oh shit. Hey man, until the next time,
Happy
y'all.
Holidays to the own deckers, man.
Absolutely.
Happy holidays to you guys, man. Hope y'all get everything y'all want for Christmas.
Happy holidays, happy New Year's, man. Y'all be safe. New Year's, don't do nothing crazy. Want to see everybody's faces on this side of 2024. Any plans for New Year, bro? What you gonna do? You laying low?
Oh yeah, we chilling. Little TK will be down here. Probably a little.
Word.
He gave him a little kickback get together. If you're interested, I'll send you some details, man. But yeah, we go pull up in makeshift in the spaceship next week and then kick it with him for the he'll be down here in Atlanta. So I'll let you know if you pull up to it, but just some real simple shit.
Yeah.
Simple. Just chilling in the crib around people that you love, man.
Yep, that's how I prefer this.
We will be we will be off the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy those next 2 weeks with Christmas. May do some throwback episodes. You guys let us know what you want. And if AB's up to it, he'll get it done. But other than that, man, we appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. See y'all next year. We out.